I'm a guy who runs a business magazine. What does a guy who runs a business magazine have to offer you in the energy space? Well, here's another way of thinking about my work. Really, I'm a guy who has a professional excuse to travel the world studying from and learning from the world's most impressive leaders and entrepreneurs. I study patterns in their success, and one pattern has emerged among all others. One thing seems to determine whether you will be successful or not. And that thing is, are you Ryan Reynolds? If you are Ryan Reynolds, you will be successful. And if you are not, then all bets are off. No, really, the reason that I put Ryan Reynolds up there is because I wanted to brag to you that I've interviewed Ryan Reynolds, but also because when I interviewed Ryan Reynolds, he told me this thing that really cuts to the heart of what it means to be successful in business today. And that's what I wanted to start by sharing with you. As you may know, Ryan, very successful actor, gets into business in a big way. He starts an advertising agency, becomes an owner of Mint Mobile and Aviation Gin, a string of business successes. But Ryan told me that he didn't know anything about business at the very beginning of that. It was actually very intimidating. And so he came to this philosophy that really helped him through that transition. And here's what he told me.
You can't be good at something unless you're willing to be bad.
You can't be good at something unless you're willing to be bad. I know there are a lot of changes in the energy industry. I know that you are responsible for introducing a lot of those changes. That you introduce new software, new processes to your operations, and then are responsible not just for making sure that it works, that it's the right decision, but for bringing everybody along. And when that means you're introducing change, that means you're navigating change. When we experience change, it often feels like we're hitting reset on something that we know really well. That we have to do the thing that we know, but again for the first time. And when that happens, we hold ourselves to this impossible standard, which is we say, I must be good at this at the very start. And what Ryan is saying is, that's not true and not fair. That in fact, the thing that separates successful people from unsuccessful people is not whether you're good at something new at the very beginning, but rather whether you are willing to tolerate being bad long enough to get to good. Here's another way of saying that. The most successful people are the most adaptable. This is really the pattern that I have observed that emerged among all others as I traveled the world studying and learning from the world's most impressive leaders and entrepreneurs. The most successful people are the most adaptable. And here's how they do it. They all develop a unique personal relationship with change. And that unique personal relationship with change enables them to feel grounded while everything swirls around them. Because let's be clear, you've seen it yourself, change feels like panic, right? It feels like panic, and there's good reason for that. We equate change with loss. Decades of psychological research have confirmed what's called loss aversion theory. Loss aversion theory means that our human brains are programmed to protect against loss more than to seek gain. So when something changes in our work, the first thing that we do is we think of the comfortable, familiar things that we have that we're now going to lose. And then we want to know what's going to happen next, and so we start to extrapolate that loss. We say, well, if I've lost this, I'm going to lose this other thing. If I lose this, I'm going to lose that. Suddenly it feels like everything is falling away around us, and that feels like panic. So how do we stop the panic? We develop that unique personal relationship with change. And that is what I'm going to spend my time with you today showing you how to do. To do this, we have to rethink fundamental things about the way in which we work. And today we're going to rethink 4 of them. We're going to rethink your needs, we're going to rethink your reactions, we're going to rethink your process, and we're going to rethink your words. And I know that sounds like a lot. If you're thinking that sounds like too much to rethink, well, let me direct you to the wise words of an ancient philosopher. His name is Ryan Reynolds.
It's okay to rethink things, even good ideas, because that's how you grow and that's how you get better. If I hadn't second-guessed every decision I make since I exited the womb, I don't know that I would be in the position I'm in.
So, let us be reborn as Ryan Reynolds. Here's the first thing we're going to rethink.